Good afternoon, everyone. Today I will discuss with you port operations. This presentation includes the topics on average year utilization of the ports of Davao, CDO, MCT, Cebu, Batangas, Subic, Port of Manila, and the MICP, covering the period of January to September 2020. The disposition of seized, abandoned, forfeited, and overstaying cargoes will also be discussed. Yard utilization is the ratio of number of storage slots or the number of containers on hand to the number of available slots or the terminal capacity. This bar graph shows the average yard utilization rate for the 7 ports covering the period of January to August 2020. For the said period, the Port of Manila had the highest average yard utilization with 65.52%, followed by the Manila International Container Port and MCT Cagayan de Oro with 60.75% and 53.48% respectively. Yard utilization rate in the major ports, especially in the Port of Manila and MICP, are being monitored and reported every day to ensure that we maintain the rate within global standard, which is not more than 70%. For the period of September 2020, the Port of Davao had the highest average yard utilization rate with 80.33%, followed by the Port of Manila and MICP with 69.93% and 66.86% respectively. Let's go now to disposition of seized, abandoned, forfeited, and overstaying cargoes. Pursuant to Executive Order Number 127, Series of 1987, the Assessment and Operations Coordinating Group, or AOCG, is mandated to monitor the disposal of seized, abandoned, forfeited, and overstaying cargoes in all ports. As of October 2, 2020, there are 4,344 overstaying containers in the ports. To expedite the immediate disposal of these cargoes, a series of memoranda were issued to all ports directing them to dispose the same. And every Monday, in the regular EXICOM meeting, reports are made as to the number of overstaying containers being disposed. The disposal does not only raise traditional revenue for the government, but also unclogs the ports of overstaying cargoes to ease container traffic. From January of this year up to date, we have already disposed 2,522 overstaying containers. What are the modes of disposition? They are by public auction, donation, official use of the Bureau, negotiated sale, re-exportation, destruction or condemnation, or turnover to proper government agencies. Under Section 4.2 of CAO 3-2020, goods subject to disposition can be disposed in any of the following manner. Public auction. Public auction is done within 30 calendar days after a 10-day notice, or in case of perishable goods, within 5 calendar days after a 3-day notice. Donation. Donation to another government agency upon approval of the Secretary of Finance, or donation to DSWD in case of goods suitable for shelter, foodstuffs, clothing materials, or medicines. Official use of the Bureau. Goods subject to disposition after approval of the Secretary of Finance, and goods which remain unsold after at least 2 public biddings may be declared for official use of the Bureau. Negotiated sale. Goods which remain unsold after at least 2 public biddings that are not suitable either for official use or donation may be sold through a negotiated sale subject to the approval of the Secretary of Finance and executed in the presence of a COA representative. Re-exportation. Government property of goods not disposed through the aforesaid manner or of goods injurious to public health may be re-exported. It shall be done pursuant to international agreements and treaties. Destruction or condemnation. Goods subject to disposition, such as restricted goods, which are highly dangerous to be kept or handled, goods absolutely prohibited, goods that are prohibited by law to be released, goods that have no commercial value, and goods that are injurious to public health can be disposed through destruction or condemnation upon the order of the district collector. And lastly, turn over to proper government agencies. Turn over to proper government agencies as provided in Section 1146 and Section 1147 of the CMTA. It can be turned over to the Armed Forces of the Philippines, PAGCOR, PCSO, PDEA, or the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. This is the process flow chart of public auction. Goods shall be sold or otherwise disposed of at the port where the goods are located, unless the commissioner shall direct the transfer of the place of auction to another port. Notwithstanding the foregoing, jurisdiction over the disposition of the goods shall remain with the district that seized and forfeited the same. Registration in public bidding. Entities or persons interested to participate in every public auction must register with the port concerned and apply and comply with the following requirements. 1. Submission of a valid government ID. 2. Payment of non-refundable registration fee of 5,000 pesos and legal research fee of 50 pesos. And 3. Clearance or registration from the concerned government agencies in case of regulated goods. For donation, all requests for donation shall be coursed through the Commissioner, the Action Cargo Disposal Monitoring Division, POS AOCG, then endorse the same to all ports for determination of the availability of the items requested for donation. If available, the port concerned verifies the actual condition of the goods. The draft deed of donation shall set forth the conditions, if any. The approval of the Secretary of Finance shall be secured. In cases concerning COVID-19 donations, approval of the Secretary of Finance is not required, and the donated goods shall be turned over directly to the Office of Civil Defense. Negotiated sale. The new Negotiated Sale Committee is headed by the Deputy Commissioner RCMG. The Negotiated Sale Committee conducts ocular inspection of the sale lots or items. It has the power to reject any or all offers or any part thereof and considers the offer or offers most advantageous to the interest of the government. The Negotiated Sale Committee has also the power, upon approval of the Commissioner, to recommend to the Secretary of Finance the acceptance of the offer or offers. Condemnation. Goods mentioned earlier, which are goods subject to disposition, such as restricted goods, which are highly dangerous to be kept or handled, goods absolutely prohibited, goods that have no commercial value, and goods that are injurious to public health, shall be condemned in the following manner. 1. Rendering. 2. Crushing. 3. Burning. 4. Breaking. 5. Shredding. And 6. Any other appropriate method. Upon receipt of the notice of finality of order of forfeiture or decree of abandonment, a detailed condemnation plan shall be prepared by the Auction and Cargo Disposal Division or equivalent unit of the port. The Condemnation Committee then evaluates and recommends to the District Collector the approval of the order of condemnation together with the name of the contractor who will perform the destruction. Interested contractors shall be accredited by the District Collector of the port, which shall be valid within 3 years from the date of accreditation. The applicant shall submit to the Accreditation Committee of the ports the requirements listed under Section 9.7 of CAO 3-2020. After the approval of the District Collector of the Order of Condemnation, a corresponding gate pass and notice of condemnation for the release of goods will be issued by the Chief ACDD to the chosen accredited contractor. Containers with goods for condemnation are now subjected to e-Track's GPS device on the way to the condemnation facility. Thank you.